Hello Gun Nation, Big Johnson coming at you. Alright, let's get into this. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I did get an STI 2011. A lot of people are asking, what was it? What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get? Well, here's what I got. I got the Staccato C2. Now a lot of people might say, what the hell is that? What it is, it's a small double stack 2011 alloy frame. So it is lighter. And we're going to talk about it. I have already shot it. I'll go over pros, cons, things like that for me, and see if this could affect you. We'll also go over some stats, weights, things like that. I'll do some comparisons between another gun that I really like and kind of show you the size difference, and we'll talk about weight, trigger. We'll just kind of go over everything. What I've done to it, how I've set it up, and this is the C2 Duo. So it is the optic ready version. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about that. So I'll try to keep this short and sweet, but I want to get kind of my first impressions and how it shot and everything right out of the box, just so you're aware of it. So let's go ahead and get on with this. So it does come in a case, really nice case actually, built in Texas, we know that. Let's kind of show you here what we've got. Little zipper pouch, already unzipped it. When you open it up, here's what it has. It does come with 3 16 round mags. The mags are really nice. These are the black Teflon coated mags, 16, and it just comes with a plastic base plate. They used to have Texas on the bottom, and I'll show you here on my other ones. I don't have the Texas on any of these, as you'll see. Now on my other ones, see how I have the Texas? So that's kind of cool. I wonder why they went away with that, but whatever it is. As far as the mags, I did not notice a difference between feeding with the black ones or the stainless ones. Now, just so you know, all of my other ones are also the Gen 2s, which are better, but these are just the stainless ones. So, and there it is right there. It says STI. These don't say, these say actually STI on them also, but these are the 20 rounders. Just so you know, this gun will fit the 16s, the 20s, and the larger ones, the 170 millimeter mags. So that's another reason I wanted it, because this is the double stack. It's not the single stack. But so I did add some of my other mags in there, because when I went to the range, I simply took the bag, I took the gun, I took some ammo, and I'll show you the ammo, and I took some little adjusting tools, and that's all I took. And of course, hearing protection and iPro. But I wanted to keep it very simplistic and focus just on the gun. If you want to see the groups, some of the groups that I shot, you can look on Instagram. I'm not really going to go over that because I did no filming of shooting the gun. I wanted to go and focus on the gun, not on videos. I wanted to focus on the gun. So I'll get that out of the way. It does say built for heroes in Texas. I think that's pretty cool because born and raised in Texas myself. The gun comes in here. It actually just kind of hooks down in there. I've got the gun out of here. There's a patch. It didn't come with the patch. I got the patch from Tony at STI. But let's get this out of the way. Now in the bag, it does come with an optic bag from Dawson Precision. We'll go over that, or I'll talk about it real quickly, but it's a whole upfitting kit and how you run it. But I kind of built me a little bag here just to take some extra screws, the takedown tool, the adjusting tool, some Allen wrenches, fiber optics. So I just kind of made a mini bag, and I'm keeping it in here. I will move this over to my Lynx defense bag once it's all said and done. Your instructions, your lock, and everything comes in here. I don't really like to spend a lot of time in unboxing because I think it's kind of boring. But this bag is a really nice bag. So we'll get the bag out of the way. Now here's the gun. I will open it and show that it is clear. There's no mag in it. There's no bullets in it. None of that good stuff. So this is exactly the way that I shot it. So did put my Surefire on there. I've got the hollow sun on there. We'll go over why I have the hollow sun on there. And that's it right there. So that's it. You can see I shot the hell out of it. And it's freaking dirty. But the gun, we'll go over how it ran, but just wanted to show you. I have not cleaned it, left it dirty, and just for the video purposes, I'll take off the light. I do like that it just snaps right off and on, fits on the Surefire perfectly. But let's go over some items real quick and just get it out of the way. Some stats. Again, this is the Staccato C2 Duo. The MSRP on it, a lot of people are probably curious. The MSRP on it's $24.99. So yeah, it's not cheap. However, there's some benefits of it, and we'll go over that. It is a double stack 2011. It does have the Dawson UOS, and that stands for Universal Optic System. So it is pre-cut for it. There's a plate you put in there. It will fit the Delta Point Pro direct onto it, and it comes with all the parts to do that. You can put a Delta Point Pro direct on there, or you can put the plate that comes on there, and it will fit the Trijicon RMR, SRO, or the HoloSun. Now it'll fit a 507 and a 508T. It won't fit like the box version, you know, some of the newer ones coming out. And for the post, it does have little posts that you put in there. They actually offer them for the HoloSun now. There's a little separate packet in there that says these are for the HoloSun. It's a step-by-step process. There's other videos on it. You can go through and watch it. I didn't want to do a video on it. I just wanted to get it set up, get it ready to go, and go shoot it. But it's so easy. It kind of says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you just follow them. So it's not hard. Basically, you go in and mount the plate on there. You take the old one off. You go through the top, take a screw off. That whole plate comes off. You put this plate on, put the 2 screws that it tells you to put on there with a slide them out of Loctite. Put that in. And then after that, you put 2 pins in the front, and these are the HoloSun pins, and you snap them in there, and then you screw your dot on. And the HoloSun is 15 inch-pounds if anybody's curious, and I did use the HoloSun provided screws for the Optic. They provide screws for the Trijicon SRO/RMR, but for the HoloSun you will need to use different ones. It was super easy to install, no problems. This does have a 3.9 inch bull barrel. The finish is carbon-like, or they're calling it diamond-like carbon finish. It does come again with a 3/16 round mags, and these are like a black coated or Teflon type coated. The trigger, it says from STI that it's a 4-pound trigger. That's what it says. With my scale, and I did test it with my Lyman digital scale, I was getting 4.5 pounds pretty consistently. So I would say it's a 4.5 pound trigger, and that is after it's been shot, and we'll go over how many rounds I put through it. The grip is the 2011, and they're calling it the G2 officer length. And the frame is alloy, so it is not steel like the other ones. That's where you can save on weight. It is 9mm. The weight that they're saying without the optic plate and the magazine is 25.7 ounces. Okay, as you see it here, with the HoloSun, with their plate, with everything, no mag, I am getting 28.5 ounces. So, as you see it here, it's 28.5 ounces. Super light gun. It does not have a toolless guide rod. On the guide rod, you do have to put the little plastic lock thing on there to take it apart and all that. Prior to shooting it, I did take it apart, clean all the shipping grease. It was actually oiled very nicely, but I cleaned all of that off. Went in and put my own lube on it. Wanted to lube it up, run it a little wetter because I was, shooting it for the first time. Wanted to run it a little wetter than normal, and so I did that. Now right here, you'll see it does have the American flag, which is kind of cool. Of course, it's facing onward. The dot that I purchased, and I did purchase this dot just for this gun, is the HoloSun, and this is the 507C X2. So this is the newer one. It does offer the 2 MOA dot, or the 32 MOA ring, or the 32 MOA ring with the dot. So that's the way that you can run the HoloSun. All right. What did I shoot through it? What I shot through it, or how many rounds I shot, was 150 rounds. This was a brand new box of the Browning 124 9mm. So I took this whole complete box so I could run just the 150 through this to see how it would run. You know, the reason, and of course I saved as much brass as I could. Of course I lost some of it, but you can see it in there. I saved it because I was looking for like any kind of weird, you know, dents or dings or scrapes or anything like that. I couldn't find any on this of the brass that I could actually find. You know, there was a guy actually sweeping behind me that kind of swept up some of mine, but I told him I was saving it, so he left a lot of it alone, but I wasn't able to get all 150 rounds of brass that I had shot. But anyway, it all ran perfectly, flawlessly. Not one issue. The gun ran great. It tracked well. I did adjust the dot. You know, I had to adjust it to where it was fitting me. Of course, just mounting the dot, going and shooting it, it was not adjusted. It was actually slightly high. So I had to, or I'm sorry, it was actually low, so I had to adjust it up and just a tad to the right, just a tad. And that got it dialed in for me. I did shoot it at 7 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, and 25 yards. Again, if you want to see the groups, you can check them out on Instagram. I threw them in my story. Actually did that yesterday. So if they're still there, but you know, the groups, like I was using a USPSA target. Y'all have all seen those, the paper targets, or ID USPSA. You know, it's the little one that looks like a cardboard thing. Shot headshots, they were all in the circle. Stomach shots, they were all in the stomach. You know, the gun is very accurate. I couldn't ask for more. Here's how it fits in my hand. Now, this was kind of my concern about getting this grip length, because usually I would need a longer grip length because I have XXL hands. So if you're comparing things, I just wanted to let you be aware of it. Here's the way it fits in my hand. It does have a slight undercut here, which I like. You know, and it's got like a little tight cut here. Stippling, it's not aggressive enough for me. It's nice, but it's not aggressive enough for me. I might be getting that stippled. The trigger wasn't bad, but I do prefer a flat trigger. You know, just my opinion. But here's my grip on it. So I've got my hand on it, and it actually fits pretty well. The thing that I like is this little mag lip right here actually kind of cups that hand in there, cups that finger up under there, and allows me to get a really good grip on it. So I don't know if you can see the dot. There's the dot, you know, showing up here. Trying to let y'all see what the dot's going to look like, but that's it right there. And it really fits well. You know, you can rack it, or of course I can go ahead and do this now. I can activate that, no problem. I can eject a mag, no problem, without really breaking my grip. What did I have? What's a dislike? If you follow me and have heard me before, not crazy about this. Not real crazy about it. Wish it would protrude a little bit better. When I was going for it a couple times, the way that my hand's built, maybe yours is not, the way that my hand's built, when you're flipping the safety off, okay, right there, because I have pretty large hands, and you can see my thumb will go, I can actually drop the slide basically almost with my thumb, because I have really long fingers, really long hands. When I drop this and try to ride it on the top, you know, like you would ride this like a ledge. That's what I do on 1911s, 2011s. It doesn't activate the bump very well. So I have to really clench in, and sometimes I'll have to throw my thumb over to the side to smash it in. Or, you know, really crush it in there, and I can't really ride that ledge very well. So activating this for me was, you know, a little cumbersome. Did I get used to it? Yes. You know, could I... You know, I mean, what did I have to do while I was shooting it or going at it? All I have to do is just squeeze harder, just a little bit harder to activate it. So not that big of a deal. Also, if you follow me on the 2011s, the way these safeties work on the STIs and a lot of other 2011s, just the way my hand's built, the safety little notch right there, that little end right there, when I'm gripping it and activating it, it will actually go into here and it will eat a little notch in my hand. And it did that on this one too. It's probably going to callus up. It was real red, kind of, you know, left a blister, but no big deal. It is what it is, and not a big deal. So I'm a big boy. The Dawson's, it comes with the Dawson. It comes with green, red, or black. It came from the factory with green in it. I do prefer the green. However, when you're running a dot, you're not staring at that anyway. You're looking at your target and putting the dot over your target, not even looking at this. Rear sights, they're blacked out Dawson's with serrations for glare. Really nice setup. Again, the gun's dirty and it's wet, and that's the way I'm running it. So this just snaps right on there. I love the Surefire on here. Fits really nicely. It goes on and off really quickly. With the mag in there, if you want to see what it looks like with a mag, that's with the 16 round mag. Of course, the 20s hang down here, and the 170s would be even longer. To depress the mag, pops it right out. It does drop free. Don't have any issues there. The button's still a little sticky, still a little tight, which is not bad. It's not like I'm having to force it, but it is a little tight. Can you push just the side of the button? Yeah, it's a little harder. You kind of have to come over the top and get a good pad on it and release it. But what do I think about it? I actually really like it. I am a 1911 fan from way back. I've been shooting 1911s, carrying 1911s forever. Then I got into the striker fire game, and now I wanted to get a 2011 gun that could handle capacity, which this handles 16 plus 1 in the pipe, so that's 17, or you can run the 120s, or excuse me, the 140 millimeters, which is 20 plus 1. I really enjoy that. People will ask why I have such an expensive gun with a cheap dot on it. I actually really like the Holosuns. I know they are not made in America. I wish they were. They are made overseas, in China. We all know that. However, this will be the 10th one, the 10th 507C. I have 2 of the newer generations like this. I haven't had one problem with the Holosun, not one. Okay, why do I not have an RMR? The RMR is shorter. This has the little rounded top, which allows for a little more eye relief for me, which I prefer. Not crazy about the little flat notched off thing. Why do I not have an SRO on here? I have 3 other SROs. If I put an SRO on here, the hood will actually hang over the ejection port, and as it's ejecting, it could actually stick on the shroud. I did put the SRO, just set it up on here, and it was hanging over quite a bit. So I don't want to take a chance on, having a locked up gun or not having one eject properly. So that is why I'm running the Holosun on here. When I might get a 508T, the titanium, where it's a little more robust, but right now this thing's working great. No issues, no flickers, no nothing. I put it on manual, and I was running it on the 2 MOA dot. That's the only thing that I ran for testing, was the 2 MOA dot. But if you're really enjoying this, let's pop this off. I'll compare it to a P10C. Okay, this one as it sits, again, weighs 28.5 ounces. The way it sits, alloy frame and everything. This is a P10C and has the Holosun on it also. It is cut, there's no plate. And this one actually weighs 23.9 ounces. So 23.9 versus 28.5. That's not a lot of difference. The size difference, I'll try to show you here. I'm not muzzling myself. My head is actually way out of the way. If we put it frame to frame, this one's a little bit shorter. Just a little bit, but if we put it all the way back to the beaver tail, where some people check it, beaver tail to the back of the slide, back of the beaver tail on the CZ, or excuse me, the STI, all the way to the back of the P10, then this one's longer. As far as, sorry about that, there's some kind of fuzz or something on that one. The width, not a big drastic difference. The footprint, I would say, they're very, very similar. And I love the P10C. Now I do run the plus 2s in there, but, that which gives me 17. This already has 17, or this is actually The way that I run it, it's 15, 16, 17, and then plus 1, so that's 18. This is a 16, plus 1 of the pipe, that's 17. But, you know, I'll give you a top look. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this the best I can. You know, little narrower, and I would say the width is a little fatter on the P10. Just a little bit. Then there's from the bushing or from the barrels. You know, of course, this has a bull barrel. This one doesn't. There's that look, if you want to see that. But, you know, the thing shot really, really well. I enjoyed it. It was great to shoot. A lot of fun. Could this be my next carry gun? You know, it's got to prove itself to me. 150 rounds isn't going to prove it, but could this be my next carry gun? Maybe. Tell you what, it really brought it back for the 1911, you know, shooting it back in the day. It was a lot of fun, and I really did enjoy it. So if you're thinking about the STI C2, I would recommend getting it. Shot great, really loved it. Recoil is nothing. If you can shoot polymer wonder guns, that recoil is actually even better if you're recoil sensitive. I'm not. I had no problems with it. I held it on target. It hit where I was aiming. Wasn't an issue. So far, so good. But it's got to have a lot more rounds through it to prove it to me. But I'm liking it. So that's kind of my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Check me out on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Look forward to your comments. And remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on.